One of the first things you notice on the streets of Normandy is the very real, genuine affection there is for Canada, and especially for Canadian veterans. But there is one family here which has outdone itself in its thanks. It's opened its heart and quite literally opened its home to anyone who wears the maple leaf. Global Stuart Greer paid a visit to the Hoffer family and their very incredible home.
I say always, thank you very much for Canadian people for June 44.
He's the faithful guardian of one of the most iconic buildings on Juno Beach.
C'est une photo qui a été prise dans l'après-midi, ça déjà.
For 30 years, Hervé Hoffer has kept a shrine to the Canadian soldiers who liberated his family home, the first building on the Normandy coast taken by the Allies on D-Day.
If Canadian people no landed here June 44, perhaps je ne serais pas là. I'm not here for to say thank you.
The large timber home seen in the background miraculously survived the Allied bombardment. And it has barely changed in 70 years, when it was a landmark for wave after wave of Canadians flooding into France.
Happy to see you!
Close bonds have formed with many of those D-Day vets. 89-year-old Ted Emming steered a landing craft carrying the first wave of Canadians onto the beach.
Two yards up the beach, and they've been shot. And you think, that guy's never come home, never going to go home.
But within 30 minutes, the Canadians managed to battle their way into the house. Hervé says one of those soldiers returned 4 years ago to sign his guest book.
Ernie Kells writes, "Sorry about throwing grenades into your cellar."
Because of its historical role, countless people come to the Hoffer home, and everyone, especially if you're Canadian, is taken in and treated like family. 4-month-old Charlotte LeBlanc may be the youngest Canadian guest. Her parents have been coming here for years.
So she has a middle name of Juno, named after Juno Beach.
Hervé only expects the number of Canadian visitors to grow.
Presque comme un symbole religieux.
It's almost become a religious symbol, he says. A symbol of freedom and Canadian sacrifice that Hervé promises his family will always preserve. Stuart Greer, Global News, Bernier-sur-Mer.